WDKX.com. That is Cassie with Diddy, of course, and Must Be Love. She joins us in studio this morning. Good morning, Cassie. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Good to have you in studio. I know it's early morning for artists. They don't really like to get up early in the morning.
No, it's before 9 o'clock too.
I know. Shows dedication to the craft is what it does.
Exactly.
Thanks for joining us this morning. We appreciate that. I know you've got a lot of things going on with you. First of all, I know that this single with Diddy's a hit right now, and I'm sure you're pretty excited about that.
I'm very excited about it. I love this record. Absolutely love this record. So.
Well, this is for your upcoming album. It's not out yet.
Not out yet.
Okay.
Up and coming album that I'm working on right now.
Okay, good stuff.
So
Good.
the single is just a tease.
Yeah.
You gotta wait.
Just a little bit of music.
Can you tell us who's on the album yet, or you can't release that?
Yeah. No. I worked with some great people. I did some stuff, a bunch of records actually, with Tricky and Dreams, and we have some good stuff. Pharrell and I did a record together. There's a lot of new producers that I worked with too, up and coming producers. I mean, you guys are familiar with Eric Hudson. He did like Flashing Lights for Kanye.
Mm-hmm.
So there's different, just a whole different group of people that I didn't work with before at all. So.
Wow, good stuff. No, go ahead.
I was gonna ask, what is different with you from this new album as opposed to your last album?
Well, the last album, you know, came after Me and You, and that record was just, you know, had a life of its own and a mind of its own. So, kind of had to follow up quickly with it. So I didn't really get the time to, you know, record the album and do album picks and stuff like that. So this time I spent quite a bit of time, a couple of years actually on it, and have like 70 different tracks. And,
Oh wow!
You know, so now I get to actually choose and
Which ones
make
are gonna be?
like a real sound.
It's funny because when you say when Me and You came out, I remember the DJ. I don't know how it came out, but the DJs from West Coast all the way up to East Coast were all like, "Man, you gotta get on this Me and You record. You gotta get on this Me and You record." I remember one of the DJs here was like, "Man, this Me and You record's gonna take over the club."
But I feel like that. I remember when that came out, and all that summer, that's all you heard.
Yep.
And I feel like this new track is that same sort of vibe. It's not the same song. It's not the same. But I feel like what it's going to do will be similar. You know, like that's the type of song that you have on repeat, and you're in the car and you're cruising, and you feel good.
It's summer record. Yeah, it's a summer record. So.
Definitely, definitely. Talk a bit. I know that one of the tracks off of your first single was Long Way to Go.
Yes.
Long Way to Go is like the second single, but I love that record because in the record you're talking about, well, he bought me the flowers, well, you still got a long way to go. He took me out to dinner, still got a long way to go. You know what I mean? You gave me the poetry, you still got a long way to go. It wasn't one of those like, you know, thank you, I'm going to reward you tonight. It was one of those, you know, you got to work. You got to work for it, right?
Because lots of songs are that now.
Yeah.
You know, we had a great date. Here you go.
Right. That was a fun song, and it was one that I wrote on. I had the opportunity to write on the album. It was hard to get in a word edgewise with that one because it was so quick. But that was one of the records that I wrote, so it was fun. The video was fun, and you know, just acting it all out.
And this new album, did you write a lot on this one as well?
You know what, with this album, I tried to go in and write some stuff. I don't know if what I wrote will actually make the album, but I did dabble in that.
Now, before you went into, what came first for you, modeling or singing? What was the first for you?
The modeling came first.
First for you. So you mean you started?
Tariq, I knew that.
I'm just asking. Like I was expecting to say I've always wanted to sing, but the modeling career I saw as a way to get into it. So, and you know, you still do that, right?
I still do it a little bit. It was definitely a door to the music industry, and I started when I was 12, and then I remember when I was like 16 years old, one of my bookers at my agency was like, you know, honey, I don't know like if you're gonna get any taller, what's gonna happen with you? But she goes, I'm 5'6".
Yeah.
She goes, can you sing? And I'm like, I love to sing. You know, I never really took it seriously. I took voice lessons and stuff like that, but never really was like, I want to be a singer. And she introduced me to Brockweiler, so the producer, and that's kind of how I got put in my head.
Yeah.
Was it like somebody like Devil Wears Prada? Is that how the fashion industry is?
No, it was never really like that. They kept it light. But.
I'm tired of them discriminating against short people.
Yeah, that's not fair.
I mean, 5'6", 5'5", there's nothing wrong with that.
And I like petite women. It's all good. I mean, why they gotta be 6'10"? Why they?
I don't even know.
But I mean, it worked out in our favor because now, you know, obviously you're a successful singer, traveling all over.
Yeah.
Is there one aspect that you miss about modeling?
It's probably just the independence of it all. Now, you know, I have to travel with other people, and I mean, I love the people that I travel with, but there used to be this, like, start from the time I was like 15, like, you know, traveling around and flying all over by myself. It was completely different. And not having to worry about people coming up to me. And, like,
what's your family think of that? Because I know my daughter is 5, and I'm like, I don't think I could go with her flying around all over the place. And, you know,
they adjusted pretty quickly. It was just like me saying, I'm ready to do it, man. And they kind of followed suit. I was pretty mature from a young age, in a weird way. So.
Well, still, I would have been like, oh.
It's difficult to watch your kids let go and watch your kids do this.
I don't know.
Well, I guess on a personal side, I mean, how is it for you? I mean, obviously, we know that the last few months have been semi-difficult. I don't want to put words in your mouth. But how is it for you when you have to deal with situations in which it is an invasion of privacy, or everyone in your business, or guessing that you're dating so-and-so, or this and that? Like, how is it that you can't just have some time just to live your life and be you?
It's, you know, I like to just keep moving no matter what. So, I don't let too much faze me, and just move what's happening in my world. I tend to just put it out of my head. So a lot of things that happen, you have to deal with them as they come, and for however many hours or days, and then keep going.
Because it just seems like everyone has an opinion about...
Right. Everyone has an opinion, but also, like, if, you know, on blogs and things like that, things happen, and something else comes up, and that's over.
Right.
So it keeps moving anyway. So as long as you keep moving, people will forget, and they'll just...
It's true. Yeah. It's true. And I think also, too, you know, I didn't even realize I had Possible, but, you know, when the pictures came out recently, I know that was something that you weren't expecting, wasn't supposed to get out. If you could touch on that, because I know that our listeners are going to be like, why didn't you at least ask?
Yeah.
So, if you could touch on that, because I know that it's something that you're dealing with even right now. Is there any legal action that's going on?
Right now it's being looked into. There will be legal action once they find somebody, or find out who the guy is, whatever it is. But it happened like in a night. You know, once it hits one site, it spreads like wildfire. So. You know, of course, the first thing I had to do was call my mother and explain it and tell her to tell my dad. So that was like the hardest part. But I'm just. It's one of those. It stinks to have to. Especially now. I was about to go. I was actually going to start my radio promo earlier, but the photos came out, so we just kind of like halted it for a second, which was just for.
Just so you can gather your thoughts.
Just so I could gather my thoughts and try to figure out what I was going to do about it. But you know, it's honestly, I don't know about other women, but you know, I'm sure there's been a woman in the past that's taken a picture like that for her boyfriend, which is what I was doing, and you know, sent it to him. So I don't look at it as a bad thing. It was something I definitely would do again if my man wanted that, but it's not.
Not for everybody else.
Right. It's not for everybody else. It came out and it wasn't for anyone.
Because, you know, you just hear time and time again, it's one artist, and then there's this came out, and Rihanna's pictures came out, and I think, you know, things that are supposed to be private all of a sudden aren't private, and then everyone has to, you know, deal with that.
And then, and then it comes with being judged in a different way when that, obviously that's not how you wanted to portray yourself to the public.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's a personal photo.
What would you say to young girls about that situation and the way you're handling it? Because I know this isn't the first time anybody's asked you about it. You're handling it from a PR standpoint of, I'm not going to hide from this. I'm going to talk about it and get it out there. That's a professional way to handle it. And to basically say, listen, Mom, listen, I got to tell my mom every once in a while I screw up. You know, it happens.
When my mom, my family handled it really well. My mom was like, I've done that before, girl. Like, don't even, she was like, don't trip. Like, just keep going. Don't dwell on it, because the more you dwell on it, people will dwell on it. So, to young girls, I mean, girls with head on their shoulders, they'll know and understand that that's not something appropriate if you're not of age. Number one, and number two, it's it's a personal choice. I'm 22 years old. Young girls, it's not for young girls. So.
One of